This video will explain how to use expanded form to solve addition and subtraction problems. It will also point out mistakes that kids make with standard algorithm that can be avoided by using this expanded form strategy. And I'll point out a couple what I call math lies that we sometimes let kids tell. But now that you know what they are, you can stop them in their tracks if they accidentally say this. So first of all, I will explain that expanded form is not expanding the number. Kids will often say expanded form is when you expand the number and make it bigger, but that is not true. Expanded form is when you expand the way the number is written by separating it into its place value parts. You are not expanding 14. If you have 14 apples, you're not getting giant apples all of a sudden. They're not growing. You're not getting an extra apple. You don't have more. You still have 14. They're still the same size. You're just expanding the way the number is written. Now, normally, if you're doing expanded form and you have a number like 302, where you have 2 zeros in there, you would just write the place values that have numbers in them. However, when you're doing addition and subtraction, I would fill every place value spot, because otherwise it does leave some room for error. Let's do the first one. We'll do all three. Let's start with the first one. So I'm going to start by stacking my addends on top of each other. I have 10 plus 4 and 20 plus 7. With addition, you can put those numbers in any order you want. You can go 20 plus 7 on top, 10 plus 4 on the bottom. It does not matter. The standard algorithm would look like this. And the first step that kids would do, they would start on the right and they would go 4 plus 7 is 11. And then they often do this and they go, and 2 plus 1 is 3. And that's true. 2 plus 1 is 3. 7 plus 4 is 11. But the problem is now we have 311, and that is way too big to be the answer to 14 minus 27. So that's problem number 1. That tells me right away this is incorrect. Also, I take issue with the 1 plus 2 equals 3. It is true that 1 plus 2 equals 3, but this is not 1 and this is not 2. This is 10 and this is 20. So it's kind of like an accidental math lie that we let kids tell us. Expanded form, we don't have that opportunity for an accidental math lie. So we're going to start on the left or the right with expanded form because it doesn't matter. We could start in the middle if we wanted to have fun with it. And we're going to go 4 plus 7. I'm going to start on the right just for, I don't know, habit's sake more than anything else. 4 plus 7 is 11. And it's plus 11. It's a positive number. I didn't have to borrow anything from the bank to, get $4 and add 7. So I have positive 11, and 10 plus 20 is positive 30. So now I have an expression, and that expression is 30 plus 11. 30 plus 11 equals 41. And that is the correct answer. I can do the same thing with subtraction. So I'm going to start by writing my number in expanded form. And this is where we would have another kind of math lie often in standard algorithm. Kids will look at the 2 and the 5 and they'll go, you can't do 2 minus 5, so you have to regroup or borrow some 10s, and then you go 12 minus 5 is 7. And that works, that's fine. That's not going to give you a problem necessarily, but it's not true. You can do 2 minus 5. So don't let them say that because they can. So 2 minus 5 is negative 3. And 30 minus 10 is 20. Positive 20. 20 minus 3 is 17, so we get the same answer. This also avoids a common mistake that kids will make with the whole you can't do it, where they'll go, you can't do 2 minus 5, but you can do 5 minus 2, and I'm just going to flip them. And I think kids get that from addition because, like I said, you can go 14 plus 27 or 27 plus 14, and it's the same. But 2 minus 5 is not the same as 5 minus 2. So if the number sense isn't there, that mistake is made constantly. Like probably in like a third to half of students in the beginning of grade 5 will flip those numbers, I would say, like every time. So it is not 5 minus 2, but they'll do that and they'll get 3 and then they'll get 23. And again, that's not the right answer, so that doesn't work. Also, often in the doing so, they'll say 3 minus 1 is 2. It is, but we're going 30 minus 10, not 3 minus 1. You can also use expanded form to solve questions that you know are going to have negative numbers, and I think it's just a little bit easier than the standard algorithm to see what's going on. So I'm going to start with 20 plus 1 minus 500 plus 10 plus 6. And I know that 21 has 0 hundreds, so I'm going to put in 0. You could do this with an empty spot up there, but I kind of tell the kids to fill in the spots. If they have things on one line, they should fill in the spots in the other line, unless they're really comfortable keeping that in their head, which eventually they often do. get comfortable with that, and then they wouldn't need this 0. They could just leave it blank. So I'm going to start out with 1 take away 6, and I can do it. I can do it. Don't let them say you can't. 1 take away 6 is -5. And then I'm going to go 20 minus 10, which is positive 10, and 0 minus 500, which is negative 500. So we come to solve this equation, and we can think of it as I borrowed $500, and then someone gave me 10 to help pay back my debt, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, now I only owe $490. But then I had to borrow $5 more, so now I owe $495. So there you go. That's how you do it.